So this is the 6th hailstorm that I've dealt with. And it's a big pain in the ass. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of moving cars. Experiences have been, it is crazy and amazing how much money you can make off of hail in different ways and things like that if it's handled properly up front.
And then you have adjusters coming in and they're, they kind of lead the show. That was one thing that Global PDR did in my second storm that was way different than my first storm was Brooke was here, went with the adjuster. Basically, he was me and I didn't have to be me. He had my best interest in mind and worked on my behalf.
Does it mean that they're...
The local guys typically can't handle the volume that we're dealing with when we're talking 300-400 cars. Our ultimate goal is to sell cars here, and if we have a catastrophic storm like we've had, well, last year we had 2 catastrophic storms, so right. It totally takes your eye off the ball, and the reality is we're in the business of selling cars. We're not in the business of fixing hail guns.
Right. If you haven't had an experience with somebody like you and your company, you don't know what to compare it to. And quite honestly, after seeing how you guys handled the claim, how you took care of everything, it's made me wonder, what would have happened if I had used somebody like yourself in the past, because it was night and day difference. Our experience with your company, Brooke, was phenomenal because you're hands-on with the insurance guys. That was the difference maker.
And it starts with the appraisal process when you have your insurance companies here. I mean, if you're not walking your cars or have someone that knows what they're looking at walking your cars with your insurance adjusters, you're leaving money on the table. My relationship with Global is I can leave them alone and I know that they got my best interest at hand.
Everybody tells you that they're going to sit down and work with the insurance company,
right.
And maximize what they can out of that. Every single guy that comes in the door says that.
Right.
But seeing what you guys did, I mean, you were with the insurance adjusters from the minute they got here until the minute they left. We worked through lunch. I never saw you leave.
Right.
And the other companies in the past would sit down with the guys and they'd go over the first cars. The first day was kind of similar with all of the different companies involved, kind of sit down, go over models and discuss damage and things like that. But I have never seen any of those guys, beyond that point with everybody else. Those guys are moving lights and doing what they can to help move cars and that kind of thing. Whereas it was amazing to me that the insurance adjusters were going to you up until the last car that we did, right. discussing the damages and, making sure you guys were on the same page as far as what they were looking at and what you saw. So the amount of working with the insurance companies was night and day difference between what you guys did and what we've had in the past.
Obviously, the adjusters are coming in and they're looking at cars and then they come to me and say, you don't have a claim here. And, that was a beautiful thing about Global PDR. Brooke was here, spoke with the adjuster. They said there's no claim here. He stayed and he worked the claim and he said, I'm not going to tell my dealer that we're just going to walk away when I know that there is a claim here. And worked with me and definitely helped me out, saved me money, and made it possible for me to continue on.
It was real professional. I mean, I called them on the first storm because I knew I had it. They were out the next day, which was nice. And then 45 days later, when we had the second storm, which actually had huge dents, they were out again right away. And, all I can say is it's customer service.
There was nobody that was going to outwork you. You came in, you worked every car, you wiped off every car. When the cars were done, we have trailers. We have living quarters trailers. We got stock trailers. We got all these different things. We're in farm and ranch country, and we're not paying you to fix a trailer. And you're out there pulling trailers in and helping these guys, shining a light for them, making sure that I get the maximum amount that I can get on a trailer. That it has no bearing on what you're going to do. There's no financial gain for you whatsoever, and you're doing that. I think that is all of it. I mean, that separates you from everybody else. I don't think there's anybody else that would have done that, and that's made me a customer for life.
To the tune of what we were looking at, to the tune of what we ended up pursuing with the insurance companies and actually getting on paper, Global PDR did a great job of making a higher number. And just difference between a trained eye that does it every single day and a guy that sees hail, one time every 5 years.
Our own estimates that we were good with.
Right.
That when we saw the estimates from the body shop, we thought that's probably about right. Your estimates were far greater, and then the other thing too was there was a couple of different adjusters, and one guy came. There were two that started, if I remember right, and then they sent another guy in from out of town. First two guys you were working with, and you guys got in a rhythm of what the bids were going to be, and it just started. I mean, the numbers were very consistent. Then the new guy came from out of town. His numbers were way off. Then you got hands-on again, worked with the guy, got everybody thinking the same thing, and also the number.
Yeah, it takes time. You have to, especially we're not a huge store. We're a small store, and obviously, in a daily basis, I'm with customers and with my people and things like that. But when you have adjusters, and obviously there's that much money involved, that takes a huge amount of your time. And to have somebody there that that can be your eyes and ears when you have to handle your day-to-day business is a huge thing. And obviously getting the claim handled, adjusted, and through is really important, because ultimately you have to know where you're at financially to be able to sell these cars or market these cars or continue your day-to-day business.
But yeah, you guys, you got in your shop, you worked, I asked them for some specific reports. Hey, tell me what cars you fix at the end of the day. Just give me, even handwritten. You guys always accommodated that. And the time that we got from start to finish was impressive. I mean, there were some issues. I called you on them, and we got them worked out.
Okay.
I mean, there was, some headliner stuff, some clips, and some, but, anything that was wrong, you guys stood behind, and so we don't have any complaints. Would you use it again?
Vehicle, I think it happens. There's a lot of dents on a car. We had a new Yukon about 2 weeks after the storm. We pull it up, sunny day. We found a dent in it. I called you, and I'm thinking, well, maybe he'll have me take it to a local shop. Maybe I didn't know how you'd handle it. Well, 2 days later, I got guys coming all the way up. 12 hours to be here, to fix the cars, fix another car for me, and then say, you owe me nothing. It's just, it's great customer service.
And you came in, said you were going to do a job, and we were going to have this solution, and you're going to be done and out of here, and you did it. We helped you along in that process, and a great relationship throughout the whole process, and I wouldn't have any problem recommending that to anybody.
I've had a great relationship with Global. They've done everything that they said that they were going to do, and probably some more along the way. And I just value the relationship that we have.
I would use you again, and I'd recommend you to, if you're thinking about having an outside company do your hail repair, give Brooks and the team a call.
So no hesitancy whatsoever. If we get another hailstorm, you're going to be the first people we call.